When it comes to the ongoing drama surrounding love and marriage, Huntsville, it seems like the story of Martell Holt, Melody Shari, and Arionne Curry never really ends. Every time fans think the situation has cooled down, something else comes forward that sparks even more conversation. This time, Melody is speaking out in ways that shed new light on what really went down with her ex-husband Martell and his longtime mistress, Arionne, who she once called Dodo Bird. And if you thought things couldn't get more dramatic, Melody made it clear that Martell and Arionne still don't get it, not then, not now, and maybe never. Let's break this down from the beginning, because to really understand where things stand today, we have to revisit what happened over the past few years and why these charges against Martell became such a big deal. Back in 2022, Melody and Martell were already divorced but were struggling to uncouple in peace. The two were still heavily tied to each other, especially because of their 4 children, and tensions were high. Martell, who was still juggling a very messy public image from his long affair with Arionne, seemed determined to exert control over Melody even though their marriage was over. On August 27, 2022, things escalated when Martell sent a series of text messages to Melody that set everything in motion. The day began with what looked like a normal text from Martell asking for their kids' doctor's information. Melody didn't respond. By later that evening, their conversations had turned into full-on fighting. They exchanged insults, accused each other of being bad parents, and dragged private matters into their argument. Melody even revealed that she used to ghostwrite Martell's comebacks in the past, hinting that someone else, maybe Shari or even Arionne, was helping him clap back in their fights. But things really took a serious turn when Martell sent Melody a text that crossed the line. He told her, "Leave me the F alone. Stop speaking on me or anything about me. You're bullying me. If you say one more thing about me at all, I'm going to treat you like you treat me. I will go all the way in. It might ruin me, but you and your fans are already trying. Now, please don't call my bluff because at this point, I'm tired of you." Melody's response was simple but telling, "I pay attention to promises, not threats." This exchange was more than just heated words between two exes. For Melody, this was part of a pattern of harassment, intimidation, and disrespect that she had dealt with for far too long. She later tied these texts into her decision to press charges against Martell, and those charges would eventually stick. But here's where Arionne Curry comes back into the picture. According to Melody, Arionne was at the center of why she decided to move forward legally. In 2023, rumors began spreading that Arionne had been plotting to release an intimate video of Martell and Melody from their marriage. The plan, allegedly, was to post the video under a fake account and make it look like another man had leaked it. This wasn't just messy, it was malicious. A woman named Carson Blue came forward with the information, saying she cut ties with Arionne because of how far she was willing to go. When Melody heard this, she believed it. She went live, confirmed that she had heard similar things before, and made it clear that she was taking steps to protect herself. That's when she started moving forward with charges against Martell, charges that tied back to those threatening texts from 2022, combined with the mess surrounding Arionne. Fast forward to 2023, Melody officially filed charges. The state of Alabama picked up the case and classified it as domestic violence, harassing communications. That's an important detail, because once the state takes over, it's no longer just Melody versus Martell. It becomes the state prosecuting him, with Melody as a witness. At first, Martell seemed confident that he could get out of the situation. In fact, Melody revealed that he begged her repeatedly to drop the charges, to skip court, or to say it was all a misunderstanding. According to her, he was constantly reaching out, trying to convince her not to follow through. He played on her emotions, even trying to use their children as leverage, saying things like, "Do you really want the father of your kids to go to jail?" But Melody didn't budge. She said she wasn't going to let Martell off the hook this time. In her own words, she knew that Martell was used to getting away with things, used to people protecting him, and she was determined to stop that cycle. Despite his efforts, Martell was arrested in early 2024. His mugshot made its way online, and for many fans of love and marriage, Huntsville, it was shocking but not surprising. His publicist tried to spin the story by calling it a misunderstanding, but the reality was clear: Martell was facing real consequences for his actions. Later that year, Martell ended up pleading guilty to the charge of DV harassing communications. But almost immediately, he appealed, trying to get the conviction reduced. After several continuances and drawn-out court dates, he finally got what he wanted in mid-2024. The DV part of the charge was dropped, and it was lowered to simple harassment. Now, here's the kicker. Melody admitted that she was the one who agreed to let the charge be reduced. Not because she believed Martell deserved mercy, but because she was tired. She had been dragged into court over and over again, subpoenaed each time, forced to relive the same drama, and she just wanted it done. She told the prosecutor that she'd agree to drop the DV part as long as it was made clear that if Martell ever did anything again, she would push for the maximum punishment possible. You would think Martell would have taken that as a wake-up call. You would think he'd be grateful that Melody showed some level of grace, even though she had every right to keep the DV charge on his record. But according to Melody, Martell still didn't get it. Instead of being thankful, he continued to act out. And this is where Arionne re-enters the story in the most bizarre way. At one of Martell's final court hearings, he actually brought Arionne with him, the same woman who Melody said was the reason she filed charges in the first place. Imagine the audacity. For Melody, this wasn't just disrespectful. It felt like intimidation. She was shocked to see Arionne in that courtroom, and even more shocked when things escalated outside of it. Melody shared that after court, as she was leaving with her security, Martell and Arionne purposely cut in front of her at the elevator. It was a bold, provocative move meant to get a reaction. Melody didn't say anything at first, but once they all got off the elevator, Arionne allegedly made a slick comment under her breath: "Yeah, she's talking to somebody's husband right now." That was the breaking point for Melody. She said she turned around, ready to confront Arionne, because enough was enough. Here was the woman who helped destroy her marriage, showing up at court, inserting herself into a case that didn't involve her, and still throwing shots as if she was the victim. For Melody, this was proof that both Martell and Arionne still don't get it. They don't understand the damage they've caused, the seriousness of the situation, or the consequences of their actions. Instead, they continue to play games, act like victims, and try to provoke her. What's even more telling is that Martell pled guilty twice, first to DV harassing communications and later to simple harassment. Both times, he admitted guilt. Yet, he and Arionne continue to move as if Melody is the problem. Melody summed it up best when she said people like Martell get so used to getting away with things that they start to feel untouchable. And if no one ever holds them accountable, the cycle never ends. This time, she refused to let that happen. Even though the charge was reduced, Martell still has a conviction on his record, and Melody made sure of that. At the end of the day, this situation shows the lengths Melody has had to go just to protect her peace and her children. It also shows how Martell and Arionne continue to operate as if Melody owes them something, when the truth is, they're the ones who owe her respect. And that's why she said what she said: Martell and Arionne still don't get it.